Ladies and gentlemen, my dudes, it's been 9 whole years, but I'm finally back for one last ride. One more Let's Play for the boys.
It's family.
We're playing some Vintage Story. This game is heavily inspired by Terra Firmacraft. These are the mods that I'm using. There are 2 unchecked ones that will be added later when they get updated. And I'm going to recreate one of my worlds here. This is the seed, if you want to follow along. And these are the world settings I'm going to be using. So, let's create our world. This is my character. And there's a whole bunch of classes in this. We are going to pick the Hunter, because that's going to give us access to some early game bows. Some super early game bows. And here we are, in the world. So, this little hut over here is a trader. We'll get onto that soon. But the first thing we need to do, like in Terra Firmacraft, is get ourselves some sticks and some stones. So, stones we can pick up from the ground. There's a mixture of stones and also flint. There's a chance that you will pick up flint. That's going to be what we use for our early game tools. And if you need some sticks, you want to break some leaves. And then you should get yourself some sticks and you can make a tool. This is the reason I picked the seed, because it's got this epic sort of horseshoe crescent shaped valley. Ooh, danger. And yeah, I think this looks really cool, and we're going to build a base here. Not just a base, but a whole village, a whole town, I think. It's not going to be easy, because if you know anything about this game, it's extremely grindy. But I think it's going to be pretty cool. So let's make ourselves some tools and we can get started with surviving. We've got enough flint here. So if we right click our flint on the ground, shift right click maybe, and we'll get a whole bunch of tool options. First thing I want is a knife blade. You will need another stone to knock these little pieces out and do your napping stuff. And we got ourselves a knife blade. With the knife blade, we can chop up this grass and get ourselves some dry grass. We can use that for beds and a whole bunch of other stuff. The other thing we can use it for, I don't think, yeah, we don't have any over here. But right by where we spawned, there was some cattails. And we're going to need a whole bunch of them. Oh, we've got some pigs here. We're going to need a whole bunch of cattails to do the early game stuff. It's not these, this is a tool which is used for thatch roofs. So let's head back to the I'm gonna head back to the spawn area, grab myself some cattails. So these are the cattails that we need. You harvest them once, you get the reeds that we use for crafting, but if you harvest them again, you can take the roots, and the roots you can cook up into food, but you can also replant them. So I'm going to be replanting them back over there where we're going to have our base, and then we can farm them a bit easier. We don't have to keep running over here. So I'm going to gather a whole bunch of these, probably every single cattail that's in this pond here. Alright, back over near our base, and we are going to replant these cattails. And if you shift right click with the roots here, then you can replant them and farm them forever. Let's also grab a little bit of clay, so we've got something to do when the night time comes. We'll have to make some pots and stuff. And you'll notice our inventory is basically just the hotbar at the bottom, and that's not good. It's not very big. So what we can do with these cattails is if we make, well, there's a few things we can do. We could make a chest like this. You can make a reed chest. But I don't really want to do that right now. We want to expand our inventory. So if we do like a basket shape with 2 rows, we'll get a reed basket. Now if you put that here, we get an extra 3 slots. So let's make 2 of those. And let's also make some rope, just like that. I think I need 3 of those ropes. And I should, if I had some sticks, I'd be able to make a bow. Let's grab a few sticks here. And I think it should just be like a Minecraft bow, right? Yep, crude bow, there we go. And if we wanted arrows, we could nap some flint arrows. But what I'm going to do is grab a little bit more clay. And then I'm going to start digging out our little dirt hut for the night, our little shelter, which is going to be right here. So, if you notice, I mean, I think this looks cool as hell. But also, if you notice, it kind of juts out at in the middle here. So that my plan is to kind of build this up to the same height as this shelf. Probably eventually build like a big old castle on top of this hill, surrounded by the valley. And with a town in front here. I think that'll look pretty good. Maybe have like some farms cascading up the hills and stuff. Some little houses poking out the side of the hills and stuff. I don't know. We'll come to those things, you know, when we actually have the resources to do it. But for now, we're just going to live in this little pile of dirt here. You'll also notice these things. These are portals. This world, or this game, sorry, has a very creepy sort of undertone to it, where all these portals will spawn and random creepy creatures will come out and try and attack you. Oh, this is we've got some high fertility soil. That's very handy for building our farms later on. But for now, I'm just going to dig a little hole in the dirt here, and that's where we're going to spend the night. Right, let's make a bit of inventory space, stack up the peat, shift and right click to stack those up. Let's eat these turnips because I'm about to start starving to death. And we need an axe, don't we? So let's make an axe, cut down a tree, get some more dirt. I need another shovel as well. And hopefully we can close ourselves in before the night time comes. Oh, looks like we got some mushrooms over here as well. What have we got? Lobsters. It's quicker to break them with a knife, but you can just punch them. And 80 saturation, so this shouldn't... Some mushrooms will poison you. These ones seem okay though. And you may notice I've also got a thirst bar there. So that's not vanilla, that's... what is it? Hydrate or dihydrate mod. I'll put that in there just because... it's a bit more realistic, and it also gives a use for things like alcohol and stuff later on in the game. Oh. It almost broke the axe, but it didn't break the axe. That's a pretty good amount of wood, though. So, with the last little bit of durability on the axe here, I'm going to turn these logs into firewood. Let's do... Okay. Won't let me do any more. Okay. There we go. As much firewood as we could get, and let's plant... Oh, hello. Copper. Oh, let's open up our map with M, right click to place a marker, and we've got ourselves some copper right at the base here. Okay, that should be enough dirt to close up the hut here. One more layer there. Close that up, and let's quickly make ourselves... where's the knife? Where's the knife? Oh, the knife broke, didn't it? So I need to make another knife. Let's get some flint. Alright, while we're making this knife, let's just get ourselves a fire in the corner so we can actually see what we're doing. So shift right click some grass, shift right click some firewood, and then if we use 2 sticks and some grass, we get a fire starter, twisted fire starter, and should be able to light that up. Might take a while. Might take a long while. There we go. And shift and control right click, you can lean stuff up against the against the walls there, makes inventory space. And I need that knife, don't I? Right, now with the knife, I should be able... That's the wattle fence. How do I do the gate? Oh yeah, if you press H, you've got yourself a handbook. And any items you might want to make, you can search up. You can also, if you press H on certain items, you can find out what they're used for. It will show you all the uses. Very, 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 very handy. Very handy. I want wattle gate. Oh, it's just 3. Okay. And I need 2 of these. Go away sticks. Alright, and that will stop anything from coming in here. I actually needed 3 of those, didn't I? Oh, there we go. Now, we can also make some torches, right? Yep, torches with dry grass and sticks. They won't be lit, which is very frustrating sometimes. So if you just go up to your lit fireplace, you can light them up. You can also use other lit torches or the fire starter over there. And we got ourselves a torch. Let's get that out of our offhand. Let's get this firewood stacked up. Bit more space. And I do not have enough reeds to make myself another storage thing. But what we can make is if we make 3, or a whole bunch of cubes here. Oh, I'm not going to have enough, am I? Right, and with 3 of these grass blocks, hay blocks, we should be able to make ourselves a hay bed. There we go. Now if we put that down, there we go, and we should be able to sleep away the night. Let's sleep and we'll get some food in the morning. I'll probably be starving when I wake up, but it's all good, it's fine. Alright, here we are. Well, that noise is me starving to death. So let's grab some of these berries. And we're all good. We got ourselves a little dirt shack and all the basics we need. But I need some kind of storage in here. And for that we're going to need some more of these cattails. So let's head out over to the water where we spawned. And I'm going to grab a whole bunch more cattails. Okay, we got a whole bunch of cattails. So let's expand our inventory a little bit more. That should be enough to make a chest, right? Yep, no, yep, should be. Let's quickly see what this guy has got to offer. I'm not entirely sure, dude. What you got to trade? No way. So, this is part of the mod, the dog training mod. He's got... Oh my god. So this is what he buys on the right. He buys copper, he buys tin, steel. Wasn't that honey? He buys bread, he buys leather. Damn, dude, this is the best trader I've ever seen. And he sells hunting dogs. He sells halite, which is used for salt. Lime, very useful. And tools. Damn, we are... This is the dude right here. We are going to be coming back to this guy for sure. Oh, green cracked russula. We got some mushrooms. I don't know if these are poisonous. I've never seen these before. What have we got? Eaten 80 saturation. No, not poisonous. Sweet. If you're using the hydrate, shift right click to drink. Let's head back home and we should... Why was it not letting me make the chest? There we go. got ourselves a reed chest. We're going to need more than just one. We're going to need at least like 2 or 3. But for now, one's going to help. Let's get our chest down, and we can store some of this stuff away. Clay, we don't need. Logs, we don't really need right now. And we need to do some clay making and get some pit kilns going. But first, I think I should probably get some arrows and maybe some food. Okay, also right next to our home here, we have some bees, which are going to be extremely handy, especially for me, as I've got the stone lanterns mod, so we can actually get some decent lighting fairly early on, as long as we've got some bees, that is. So, let's get close to the hive. We might even want to go another block up there. And we need to make ourselves a skep, which is just like this, and some clay there will give us 1. And if we put this within a few blocks of the beehive, it should eventually swarm from here and start living in here, and then we can pick this up and make ourselves a beehive, bee farm basically. We'll need quite a lot of those skeps, which means we're going to need tons and tons of reeds, of course. Let's also get some flowers down so that they can breed a little bit faster. I've never seen these mushrooms before either. Earth ball. Let's see, is that poisonous? It is. If you see minus HP there, so that's going to be, it's going to be a little bit poisonous for us. Oh my, that took, wow. 8 HP is half my health pool. I didn't realize that. Okay. Well, you learn something new every day, I guess. We're going to head back home. And, well, really, we need some food before we do that. There's a whole bunch of wild crops up here. Let's grab some of these. So we've got something to eat. Now, there is a chance that you don't get seeds. Like if the crop is fully mature, then you will always get seeds and whatever grain or vegetable it is. But if it's not fully grown, there's a chance just like that you don't get anything. So if you're pretty hard up on food, you're best off leaving everything until it's fully grown. But if you're not too bothered and you've got a bunch of stuff around, then just pick up whatever you want, I guess. More spelt, right? Yep. Let's grab the last mature one. We'll eat that up. And, oh, actually there's some berries here as well. And then we'll do some clay molding. Okay. Clay molding. Let's get these out. So, much like the flint knapping, if we shift right click on the ground, you're going to get a menu with a whole bunch of stuff. Now, obviously we're going to need a lot of these. The most important ones, I would say, early on, is you want a cooking pot. So let's make one of those. Basically, cooking pot, crock, bowls, and then that's your food sorted, pretty much. And then you want to start looking at metalworking stuff. So, this is it's a really cool system, actually. If you press F, you can change the size of what you want, and this duplicate will just will run the same pattern you did last time. It's gone over a bit there. Let's clean that up, and should have a cooking pot. There we go. Now, like in Terra Firma Craft, all of your ceramic stuff is going to need to be fired in a pit kiln, so let's dig ourselves a little hole. We will need to shelter this from the rain as well. So, boom, boom, boom. That should be good enough, rainproof. But we can fit 4 items in there, so let's make a few more. We're going to need a bowl, a crock. Where's that? A crock there. And a crucible might be a good idea as well. So let's get started on those. Okay, while we're doing this, I guess I should probably talk about what I've been doing. You know, I just disappeared off the face of the earth for 9 years, but well, you know, I haven't really been up to much, to be honest. I still live in the same place. I still work the exact same job. I'm still running, believe it or not, I'm still running the exact same computer that I was running 10, 12 years ago. Although I have upgraded the graphics card and a 1440p monitor, but it's still pretty much the exact same PC. And I mean, yeah, haven't really been doing much, to be honest, boys. Just working, living life, you know, gaming. Still playing a whole bunch of games. Escape from Tarkov, Apex Legends, Valorant, Marvel Rivals, all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. We're also going to need one of these, the large storage vessel, because that is going to make our food last a hell of a lot longer. So let's get one of those going. So yeah, and I guess why I stopped making videos. Well, there's kind of two answers to that. There's the long version and there's the short version. The short version is I kind of just I lost the passion, man. Like, I've run out of ideas completely. I lost all the motivation, all the inspiration, and yeah, like, the longer it went between making videos, the harder it was to actually make a video. Like this video right here, I must have done the intro to this like 200 times. I'm not even joking. And I actually have tried to do like some comeback videos in the past, but it just kind of felt weird, you know. It didn't really feel right. It didn't feel like I was, yeah, it just didn't really feel like I was into it, to be honest. And the long version, well, damn. I mean, the long version is, well, it all kind of started with an intro. I had an idea for an intro, like a little intro to the YouTube channel that plays on every video. The idea was like either my Minecraft character or even just like the Steve Minecraft character just picks up a big old rocket launcher filled with potatoes, or a Spud gun if you would, giant Spud gun, fires it at something like a wall or a house or something, and in the splat of the potatoes the words Spud Gun appear. That was the big old idea for the intro, and I didn't really know how to go about like getting someone to make it. At the time I couldn't really afford for someone to pay for someone to make it, so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna make it myself. So I started learning After Effects, Adobe Illustrator. I did that for like 6 months, realized that I'm using the completely wrong software for what I'm trying to make. So then I started learning Blender and like 3D modeling and stuff like that, and by that time it's like a year had passed since I made videos, and I just, man, it was just really hard to just say the words, man, to just listen to yourself speaking to a microphone, speaking to nobody like I'm doing right now. Still feels weird, not gonna lie, still feels weird, but we're going for it. Now, one thing you might want to be aware of if you're doing these pit kilns is the fire will spread, so you want to get rid of all the grass around it within like 2-block radius, and don't do it in peat, otherwise you can pretty much say goodbye to your whole world there. It's just going to create a giant fire and burn down the whole forest. Yeah, and now, like, in terms of the intro thing, and now you can pretty much just tell an AI to do it, and it will have it done in a couple of minutes. Although saying that, I did actually try that, and well, the results weren't great, I'll tell you that. In fact, I might actually put up some of the AI versions of that intro. I'm gonna do a series on this. I'm gonna try and make it worthwhile. I'm gonna try and build an epic town. A castle on top of here.
Surprise!
It's, oh my god. Oh my god. So yeah, that's a thing. Little creepy skinwalker type things like that. That's a thing in this game. Let's make ourselves a crucible. And then we'll make some arrows and we'll try and kill that thing, because I do not want that thing right outside my door. Yeah, one of the main like things that has made me want to come back to this, or come back to making videos, is like the chisel. The chiseling in this game is insane. Like, it's cool as hell, dude. The chiseling is like another level compared to Terra Firma Craft. It's just, I can see myself spending hundreds of hours off camera just chiseling stuff. Hopefully it doesn't like affect the frame rate too much, because that would suck. But yeah, once we get to the Copper Age, well, we'll start doing some chiseling stuff, and I'll show you how cool that is. Okay, now one thing you will also notice about this is this gear at the bottom. You notice it's at 83% and it's turning left. It's going backwards, 82 now. So that's basically your temporal stability, or your, it's like your crazy meter. Like, the lower that gets, eventually you just go crazy. You can't really see a whole lot. You can't really do a whole lot. And the more of these guys will just start randomly appearing as well. But let's try and, I guess we kill this last one here, and hopefully we can get our pit kilns going. So I'm tripping out. We should shift click 8 of those. Some of those, same here. Oh damn, we need 2 more, okay. 2 more grass, bunch of sticks, and then the peat. Actually, we need, my bad, we need 4 more, because the big vessel needs 8 of these. Shift click on that, and we'll get these fired up. Careful not to step on these will set you on fire. They will also set your house on fire, or anything that is near to it that burns. It's extremely dangerous, those things. Right. We need some food. I'm about to start starving to death. Let's see if these guys have got anything on them. Nothing. And the other ones have disappeared. Right. Well, I think that's going to do it for this first episode. Let's take a little seat on the ground. We can take a look. There we are. That's going to do it for this episode, guys. In the in-between episodes, you know, I'm gonna try and gather as much resources as I can, like sticks, flint, stones, clay, and all kinds of stuff like that. And we'll try and work towards a copper pickaxe, or at least some kind of metal working. But that's going to be it for this first episode. Thank you so much for watching, as always, and I'll see you in the next one.